How's everybody doing? Wow. What time you guys got? What time is the class? All right, now listen. Okay, listen. We're getting ready to get started. Now, we're not going to be here long, and I see it's kind of standing room only. So just do us a favor. There's a seat next to you. Raise your hand up so somebody can sit next to you. All right. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. So, okay, now don't forget, I can't compete with noise in the audience. Okay? All right, so if there are fellas in here, I would recommend, unless there's a medical condition, that you let the ladies sit down first. All right, if you are a guy and you can stand up, let's give our seats to the women. All right, so we're going to be talking about a lot today. Now, you're going to hear a lot more from Janice than you are me, because guess what? She got 3 of these $10,000 bonuses. Right now, but I do want to share a few things. As we start talking about developing your daily routine, anybody ever take the Franklin Covey management and the whole concept, and yet I love the idea, the whole concept behind it was time management when you bought the Franklin Planner? Well, the reality of it is you can't manage time. Can you? If you can manage time, I want you to raise your hand. Now, if you could manage the things that you do within that time frame, I want you to raise your hand. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things like putting first things first, developing your daily routine. One of the things that I know is this: in order to be successful in Surge, you have to make more than just a commitment. I'm telling you guys, it's hard work. And let me tell you that we know it's hard work. Imagine this. Has anybody here lost weight? Let's say maybe 3 or 4 pounds before. But what about 15? Now, how many of those people put it back on? Now, see, so you know you can do it. If you made a commitment and a dedication, Rick is over there eating and we're talking about weight loss. Like, listen, you know, it's one in every class. We're talking about weight loss. You're like, yeah, I'm eating, right? But let me tell you about losing weight and it being difficult. It's a lifestyle. Being an entrepreneur, being successful in Surge, you don't turn it off and turn it on. It's a lifestyle. Rick always talked about it. He said, you know what? I built my business as I live my life. You know why? Because it's a lifestyle. And so if you think, if you're going to, well, you know, I'm going to dedicate maybe 1 hour a week, you got the wrong picture. See, what you can do, did you know that you could be on your job as a W-2 and still be an entrepreneur? But if you limit your mind just to being a 1099 away from your W-2, you're going to fail. But going back to losing weight, it's a what? You got to change the stuff that you eat, and you got to work hard. And the reason we won't lose weight now is because we have these conversations. Man, you know how hard it was? You know the sacrifices I had to do? You know the boot camps and the training that I had to endure? See, one of the reasons I can never join the health and wellness programs with vitamins and stuff, because I don't want to see my fitness trainers every day. I played college basketball. I hate working out. It's hard work. But in order to be successful in this business, you got to come to grips. It's not we're going to lose the next 15 pounds. It's I'm developing a lifestyle that is forever going to change my life. And I may have a few cheat days. Right? It may be a Sunday where I decide not to work. But for the most part, you are a 1099 from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Imagine being a 1 hour Christian. See, y'all ain't know I go to church. Y'all, can the church say amen? Praise the Lord. You know what? Hey, you guys help me welcome the lovely and talented Coach Janice Parker. All right. The answer to this question is my income. Is you is or is you not ready? Yes. What's up, Surge365? And I almost sounded like $1,000. I think it was $7,722.88. Can I get a $10,000 my income? Are y'all ready? Stand up. If you ready, stand up. What's up, Surge365? That was a $50,000 bonus. Give yourselves a round of applause. What's up? All right, well, first things first, guys, I am absolutely, positively, definitely grateful to be with you today, and absolutely grateful that y'all packed up in here like we do, like sardines back home. I feel like I'm at home. Is that all right? Well, guys, we're going to talk about developing your daily routine and we're going to talk about that, and then I'm going to segue into understanding the power of travel parties and exponential growth. Are y'all ready? Now, here is the first things first, guys, is that you must keep a what? You gotta have a calendar, family. Now, tell the truth and shame the devil. Who has a weekly calendar in here? Raise your hand. You mean the #1 national builder and all of Surge365 has a what? She has a what? She has a what? Absolutely, because guys, if you're going to run a business, remember Coach Vaughn, and what is he not just amazing? Y'all give it back to my coach, right? And I'm a little, because guys, and I'll tell you a little bit more later, but I did not believe anything he told me when I met him. But it's okay because he told me the what? Truth. And the reason I joined Surge is because everything he said, he did. Is that all right? Are they trying to out-noise us over there? What's up, Surge365? All right, guys. So in your calendar, though, you really have to kind of mark up your life. You have to set down what my work schedule. That should be in your calendar. Your activities for the children, your family time, your church time. Everything should go in your what? Calendar. Everything should go in your calendar. Now, let me ask you a question. When you set that I'm going to go to work Monday through Friday, do you show up? Well, you know what? When you add your information about your Surge365 business, your travel parties, your one-on-ones, your Super Saturdays, your jump schools, your Zoom webinars, you should what? You should show up. Because you got to treat your business like a what? Like a business, absolutely. And so, family, the other thing that I want you to understand is this, is that we cannot procrastinate. Now, this is how I used to make phone calls. I'm going to make calls from 7 to 9. 7 o'clock, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? She might be eating dinner right now. I don't want to call, while she eating dinner. 7:30. She probably got to get the baby's homework. You know what I mean? I don't want to be calling people while they're trying to get the baby's homework, right? Then the TV's on, right? I'm looking at the TV, and the next thing I know, it's 8:15. Oh, shoot, I still ain't called. And so I blocked the time, but I haven't worked the what? Time. So when you make the time, guys, the thing that I had to learn to do was not to what? Procrastinate. Listen, I can't take calls during that time. There's nothing urgent that I need to do during that time. That's my money-making time. If you're sitting in front of your boss at work, are you really going to take a call? Well, when you're sitting in front of your boss at home, don't take the call. Does that make sense? That time was set aside for making calls. And so you want to make your strategy and stick to it. A lot of times, guys, what we do is we let ourselves off the hook. We justify why we did not get it done. And something Chris Copley said that was amazing to me. He said, you will look up and 6 and 7 months into the year and you're nowhere closer to your goal than January 1st. But today we're going to talk about having a calendar. Now, I'm country. Countrie. That deep country right there. Y'all understand that deep country? We still do instant coffee. I'm just saying. So here's the thing. You have to make sure that you treat your business like a business. And here's another thing, family. Your weekly meeting is not just for when you have a guest. Your weekly meeting is game day. Now, how is it that the football coach is there? How is it that the quarterback is there, but there's no wide receiver in the room because they didn't have a... Do you understand that if you show up on a football field with 9 players, you got to forfeit? We need you at the weekly events. Now, we're going to build to those events from travel parties, but you have to show up because if you don't have a guest, the meeting needs you. If you have a guest, you need the what? Who do you want to be there when you get there? Does that make sense, guys? So make sure you show up. So if you block the time, you have to what? Execute. There are no what? Justifications. You can't justify, because I will promise you, if you're on your third right up at work and your tie flat and it's raining outside, cats, dogs, and chickens, everything's raining outside and it's dark and you got 1 hour to get to work, what are you going to do? It's the same with your business. That type of, that is not pressure, but it's responsibility and consistency is what you want to do in your what, family? In your business. How many of you have a business name? Now, she's not moving for me, coach. There she goes. Okay. All right. So now Vaughn talked to me about Franklin Covey. I really love him because he helps you to understand how to manage your time. You want to make a to-do what? When is the best time to make that list? Night before. But then, guys, don't just make a list, because here's my list. Oh, I got to call my sister. I'm going to do that first. Oh, I need to call corporate and make sure. Yeah, I do that. I don't know if I want to talk corporate early. Vaughn wants to counsel about last week. I'm going to put that down here. Right? What you do is you make the what? List. Then you have to prioritize those things that are in quadrant number 1. They are urgent and important. But here's Janice. When I first got started, I'm all down here. I'm going to fix my desk. And I'm going to organize my business cards. And I'm going to go down to Michael's and buy some cute little boxes to put everything in. I need to get some cute folders from Office Max. That's called busy what? Work. And guys, what you have to understand is that you want to do what you're going to do for your business doing what we call MMT. You know what that is? Money making time. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Janice, you did that? You made that. You know what? You did an awesome job. She was like, what you want? I was like, this is what is it going to do? You see what she said, how important it is to show up? What you don't understand is that you may have strengths other people don't have. What I love about Janice is she'll take an idea for this class and then she'll put it on there. You'll have a person, Janice, who probably won't be the best recruiter in the world, but they'll have these things that when you mention stuff, they'll put stuff together. And it's important for them to be there, because if they're not there, you don't get stuff like this. See, you feel as if I don't have as much to offer. Janice knows me. She called me and she checks on me because she knows I am the king of ideas. But I am a horrible detailed person. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm like, girl, you did all of this. Let's give her a hand. When I heard you say Franklin Covey, I'm like, so we are synchronized because he was part of this presentation. Is that all right? So guys, focus on quadrant 1 first, and then quadrant 2, and then quadrant 3. Some of these calls and interruptions, like you just don't have time to talk about little Johnny's soccer game last week when he stubbed his toe. That is not during what? Money making time. So you want to make sure that you use the time wisely, because most of us work a journey of the broke. So we have to make sure that we maximize our what? Time. We maximize our time. So here's the thing, family. But then you have to inspect what you expect. You have to assess, plan, do, review. Assess, plan, do, review. Assess, plan, do, review, improve. So when you're setting your weekly goals, if you don't hit them, that should not be, oh, well, I'll do it again next week. There should be a real conversation with your star player, right? Because guys, listen, you would not underperform at work if you were looking for a raise. Well, if you overperform in Surge, you're going to get a what? What kind of raise? Right? So guys, look at your week and sit down on Sunday night when you're making the weekly schedule. Look at, what did I accomplish? How much time did I really put into my business? Now here's a tip. I didn't even think about this just now. Lawyers have a legal pad, and they have 15-minute increments on that legal pad. That's how they bill you. They could think about you for 2 minutes, but it's in that 15-minute increment, yes? And they write down what they do. So if you're not good at tracking you, try what lawyers do. Does that make sense? So guys, now, so assess, plan, do, review. But then here's the thing, you've got to back into your goals. Some people, I think the hardest thing is we'll set a goal. I want to make $2,000 this month. But we don't know how to get to 2,000, do we? We don't know what to do. So we're going to learn to, as Nakia say, back into the goal. So let's just say you want to earn $2,000 a month. And every 2 people that see your presentation, you sign up, right? So you have to know your ratios. Am I 2 out of 10? Am I 3 out of 10? Am I 2 out of 50? You have to know your what? Ratios. And so guess what? If you need 14 platinum sales to make what? 2,000. Yes or yes? Well, here's the thing. If you sell every 2 persons and 2 goes into 14 7 times and 10 people have to see it to get 2, how many presentations need to happen? 70. See, guys, now here's the thing. Some of you are better than that. Some of you sit down and put up a presentation. Now, please come up here real quick. Y'all give it up for Rayshawn Robinson. Number 1. And the reason I'm calling her up here is some people say, I don't know how to show the presentation. Well, one of the things Rayshawn knows how to do is show the presentation. But what did you do to earn 1.5, maybe 2 bonuses in the last month?
Show your presentation.
Oh, wait. You saying you did a replay?
I did it. I would sit down at a Starbucks or somewhere with my guests, and I would have Janice's presentation that she did. So I would be first to introduce her as a co-host, right? And with my guests, I would sit there, play it. She's saying everything needs to be said, and then I sit there and nod my head. You like it? Yes. Third-party validation. And then, you know what? I could do that too. But see how easy I did it? It's a system that we use. How you like it?
How many?
I bonus twice using her.
How many sign-ups?
Oh, man. I've bonus twice off her videos. And I've made sure my team members understood how to do that too. So it's like, don't rely on me. Use a system. Use someone else's tool. You always want to use someone else's tool. So I've inboxed her a few times, say, man, I keep bonusing off yours. Your presentation, show her the picture.
Give it up for her, right? Now, what's my point? The point is that it's not that it's my presentation. The point is, if you're sitting around saying, well, my upline ain't booked and she ain't got time for my travel party, go create a what?
Travel party.
Use a video. Pastor Gerald Goodman does the he'll pull up a Zoom webinar that one of us have done in front of a room of people. He'll introduce himself, and then he'll press what? So if you want to know how to do 70 presentations a month, do like this, do like that, and then do like that. Y'all got it? This is a no excuse zone. It's a what?
You can do it if you just what? Do it. Okay, well, okay, now if 70 got to see the presentation and 1 out of every 3 people I call that says yes actually looks at it, I need to have 210 invitations. Y'all got that? I need to invite 210. But when I make the call, is everybody going to answer the phone? So I can't just have 210 people to call, yes or yes. So guys, then what we have to do, if 1 out of every 3 I call, I'm actually able to make the invitation. 3 times 210 is what? I might do that wrong. That feels wrong in my spirit. I think that's supposed to be 6:30. It was 2 o'clock. It was 2 o'clock, right? Y'all get the basics, right? All right, so now that you know the math, right? Schedule your time. If I'm going to get 610 calls done, and it's going to take about 5 minutes per call, because remember, I'm not talking about little Johnny. I called to make an invitation, yes or yes. So guys, 3,050 divided, now that's 3,050 minutes. Because I'm saying 5 minutes per call. 3,050 minutes divided by 60 minutes is 50 hours in a 30-month period. We're going to break this down to the nth. What's nth degree, Pastor? I don't know what nth is. My grandma used to say nth. Okay. But anyway, so 50.8 hours in 30 days is 1.64 hours per day. If I divide that, right, by 5, you know how many minutes I'm going to spend? Guys, listen, I'm going to block a dial time about 1 hour and 45 minutes per day. At 5 minutes per call, that's approximately 21 calls in 1 hour and 41 minutes, 45 minutes. You got it. So now you can block your schedule. But I can't be watching the closer, and I can't call about my sister and ask about, Pop-Tart. I got to pick up the what? Phone. Like I'm in a telemarketing office. I've got to just make the what? Calls. You guys saw Pursuit of what? Happiness. He saved time by never putting down the phone. So it's only an hour a day. You would think, when I looked at that 6:30, I think I had it right in my head for a minute and then something went wrong. But here's it, because I actually changed it. But here's the thing. When you look at it that way, is it that much work? No. And are you going to personally do 70 presentations? Not necessarily. But if you have to, you would. Yes? But you can invite them to a Zoom. You can invite them to a webinar. You can invite them to a Monday night presentation or whatever your weekly event is. You can invite them to a Super Saturday. Just pack the Super Saturday out with guests. See, 70 presentations isn't 70 presentations. It's just 70 eyeballs watching the what? Presentation. And so, guys, but wait. There's more. But wait. There is more. So, family, here's the thing. Travel parties compresses time frames. Travel parties will what? Compress time frames. So in other words, the more parties you have, the more eyeballs that see it, the more money you're going to make. Tanisha Williams, please come forward. Y'all give it up for Tanisha, right? Travel parties and the team builder group. Tanisha just got into travel. Where's she at? Y'all say St. Louis. Oh, and you look good. I see you. All right. So Tanisha just got into travel. This is your marketing director, by the way. This is Vaughn Nickelberry. Hi, I see you. Where's Andrea Warren? She didn't come in here. So Andrea is her sponsor. Sylvia is my cousin. Sylvia saw Orlando's revenue-producing activities. She did the revenue-producing activities, but she wasn't a team builder. But she did what? One of them had to do with sharing your video. Y'all remember that one? You share your video. Well, she's also shared her link with Andrea. Andrea gets started, right? Now, what Sylvia had to do was prepare. Does that make sense? You have to have a list, guys. If there's no list in front of you, you get caught up looking through your phone. Does that make sense? So you have to make a what? List. What did you make?
A list.
She made a list. Now, here's the fun fact. Sylvia sent the link to Andrea. Andrea saved $200 going over to London. She saved the $200. She came back and said, what's this thing y'all got going on? I want some information. She got started the moment she saw the presentation. She invited you to her first travel party, yes?
Yeah.
And all you wanted to do was what?
Save money.
How much money did you save, by the way, on your Vortex, your first booking?
$2,400.
Y'all give it up for Surge365, right? Huh? See, understand something. Following the system will make a believer out of a customer. Yes or yes? So she saved $2,400 on her tickets going to London. She got started and had a what?
Travel party.
Because all you want to do was get what?
3 people.
The magic of this is getting people what?
3 and 3.
3 and 3. So she had a travel party, guys, and she had her theme. She had a little theme going on, and she had a little dip going on, and she picked, what was our theme? No, I found it on Google. But she actually... Pick your location, and the ideal location to have it is in your what?
Home.
In your home. So she had this really, really nice setup, guys. The room was cool and everything. And we did this travel party. Now, some people don't want people at their house, and you may have a community center, but the key thing is to do a travel what? Party. Let Ray Sean tell it. The travel party's in Panera Bread. But I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. Right? So here's the thing, guys. You've got to do what? How many people did you invite the first time?
Probably about 60 or 70.
Mm-hmm. Y'all give it up. 60 or 70 invitations. How many people showed up?
About 15.
15 showed up. But wait.
There's more.
There's more. How many people did you sign up?
5.
You compressed time frames. And you were not only 3 and 3, you became a what?
Team builder.
Y'all give it up for the newest team builder on Icon. But then we did it again.
Yeah.
Only because she made some mean sausage dip, y'all. I just really wanted to dip. She already a team builder, but I wanted to dip. But anyway, so I went over there. We did another travel party, and we sponsored during that first travel party somebody named Rosa. Rosa and Stu got started and had a what?
Travel party.
Now, let me tell you about her travel party. She had new going away gifts. She had ink pens. She had already named a company. It's called
Bucket List Travel.
She had ink pens with what on it?
My name.
But wait. She had business cards with magnets on the back of them. She had travel surveys with what on it?
My logo.
Thank you. When I walk into one of their travel surveys, the applications are there, the travel surveys are there, the party favors and gifts are there. The name tags have the names of the guests and me already on them. She's smooth with it, ain't she? She's smooth with it. Look, she's got colorful clipboards, ink pens with her business name on it, snacks, ices, and sausage dip. And then she has the theme items. She's got the computers ready to sign people up. The TV and the computer are connected by an HDMI when I walk into the room. Y'all give it up for Tanisha, y'all. But wait. She sent her team an email that says, this is what I did. I looked at this travel party video on Facebook by Coach. I got my business cards here. I got my magnets here. I got my party favors here. Look at this. Click on this. Here your surveys. Here your applications. Y'all give it up for our brand new team builder. Thank you, baby. So she sent that to Rosa and Stu. And Rosa and Stu had a travel party. Rosa invited 29 people. She made dip. Dip is not necessary unless I'm coming. I'm just saying, it's just one of those things. But you want to have chips and maybe dip. Guys, you don't need a smorgasbord. It's not duplicatable. Plus, it's too much cleanup. Yes or yes. So have something that's easy to get in and get what? Out. Because you don't want your new person thinking, I got to feed all these folks every week. Oh, we ain't having a travel party for every quarter. We'll have one every quarter. But if they can buy $2 chips, and if you want to make sausage dip, great, but you can just have a jar of Cheetos. What is it? Yeah, you can have that. Right? But guys, you don't need a buffet. You want to keep your costs what? Down, because the is to have more than one a week. Yes or yes? Then family, then you got to make sure that the equipment works. Well, one of the things that I love, as you become the person where your upline is coming in to do your travel party, set the stuff up. Set it up. Download the stuff in the back office. Download the slides like she did. Hook it up. Go buy an HDMI cord, right? When it's plug and play. But as a leader, you also need to verify the what? Equipment in advance. Find out what kind of TV they got, because if it has a butt on the back, the HDMI don't work. Does that make sense? So here's the thing, verify that equipment. So what I've noticed is when I go to her team's travel parties, they're exactly like hers. Does that make sense? Because it's duplicatable. Rosa even made what? Sausage. She made the same dip. She got the recipe. She sent the recipe too.
See, no, that's not fair. See, it's the dip that's getting folks to sign up.
Well, whatever it takes.
You got to get your special recipe and the dip. So hold on. So you're going to make your recipe available for everybody?
Yeah, I give you all the recipes. Yeah, after the presentation.
Y'all give them a lot of applause. So listen, they know I have hot flashes. So they got the temperature down. Everybody got on the sweater but me. I'm in there just a fanning and flashing, but they know to keep the temperature, right? I'm just saying. So guys, listen, if it's too hot, y'all know us. If it's too hot, what's gonna happen? We're gonna do what? You don't want your people looking cross-eyed at your presenter like. Make sure it's comfortable. You may be cold-natured, but you want to make sure your people, thank you. You see me flushing? Right, but your people are not, right? Does that make sense? So make sure, guys, that it's comfortable. And then, guys, make sure it's standing room only. Don't go rent a building. Well, Ms. Parker, I only have a chair and a love seat in my living room. Great. 3 people can sit down. Tell them I arrive early. Limited seating. Does that make sense? Well, Ms. Parker, should I only invite 3 people? No. Invite how many? Everybody. Every. E-R-R-I-E. Everybody. So... because you never want more chairs than people. I know your friends different, and they all gonna show up. But family, I'm gonna tell you, it's better than this right here. It's better than that. I'd rather have people standing and fanning with me. Does that make sense? Because it looks like something's going on up in here. But if they show up, and it's you and that one person, in all that room. Does that make sense? But if they show up in your house and your living room doesn't look like a conference room, right? Because you didn't pull all the dining room chairs in there and get the chairs from the church and put them all in there. Now, I'm not saying don't have them on standby. But when I got to her house looked like a house. Does that make sense? And so, family, you want to do this. And this is what Rosa and Stu were impressed by. She's an attorney, he's an IT. They were impressed that we did what, Tanisha? They were impressed that when they walked in, we were 20 minutes deep. I think they thought that we were start on CP. We started on what? Time. They got started because they were impressed with execution. Does that make sense, guys? So make sure you start on time. You want to respect the people who showed up on what? Time. Make sure you have name tags and use a Sharpie with not the thin point, because I can't see that far. I don't want to be all in her chest saying, hey. Does that make sense? Have name tags with big print for people like me that can't see that far or that close. Have that big print. And I say red for guests so that I know who I'm talking to. But I also know who I can get my support from, which is why we travel as a what? Tribe. As a tribe. If you ain't got a travel party, be at one. Does that make sense? If you see that the flyers posted for your team's travel parties, invite to those what? Travel parties. You need 70 people to see the presentation. You're not going to do 70, but you can invite 10 to her. Does that make sense? As a matter of fact, Rosa invited guests to your travel party. Yes. You get that? So utilize what you got. But family, here's the thing. We help the host, not the host. Whoever's going to introduce the speaker, please, by all means, and Tanisha is shy. Well, she's not shy. You just want to talk in front. You used to not talk in front of people. I done fixed that today, yes or yes. She's really mean. So she did an amazing introduction. And I told her that. She did an amazing introduction. She wasn't me. That takes a lot of work. But she was professional and she was well spoken and she told about her savings and then she did the edification and she introduced me, and during the time that we were actually, she had 5 gift bags, right? Yeah. We give away gifts. We make folks pay attention because we ask questions about the presentation. And if you get the answer right, you get a what? Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I'll go back 4 or 5 slides in my head and they're like, oh, I was supposed to be listening to that. Right? But then here's the thing, guys. Listen, when she introduced me, she doesn't run off. When she introduces me, we're going to... I ain't saying nothing. But the guests don't know that. Now they tell her she did a what? Good job. But that interaction warms her friends up to who? Me. But if she run off after the introduction, then they don't connect to who? Me. They trust her. She transfers trust to. Does that make sense, guys? And so then here's the other thing. Have some games. Make so it's not monotonous. And not every travel party has to go into the SBA. Because some people get lost thinking I have to what? Recruit. Some people just want to what? Travel. So we did a Zoom and all we talked about was the membership. Does that make sense, guys? Show the power of that membership. I got that from Juliet St. John. So have some icebreakers, guys. Now, the first person who arrived, you can give them something. That way everybody else next time going to be what? On time. But here's the thing, guys. Next is you. Number 1, show up and support. Don't show up and act like it's you. Act like, you happy for her, right? Y'all happy for her? Show your love, right? So when she does her introduction, you start clapping. The guests don't know to clap. You have to what? Clap. They don't know how to act in that environment because it's new to them. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that it's because it's what, Kim? Game day, that you show up and then show the heck out. The guests don't know that you're a partner. They have no clue. So if you acting like, oh my God, that was good. You wrote that last time I said it. Write it down one more again, right? So you want to make sure that you're watching and because they're watching you to see how they're supposed to act. And if you acting bougie and like you're not interested, Why should they be? Yeah, but they're not my guests. Yes, they are. This is all about building Surge365, which means building Rosa, which means building Tanisha, which means building Andre, which means building Sylvia. They're all our guests. When you show up to an event, act like they are what? Yours. See if they want some water. See if they want a snack. Do what you got to do to interact. Don't sit there like Grandma used to say, like a bump. Y'all met Grandma? I thought I saw y'all at the house that time. Right. Focus on the presenter. Tanisha, sit right there. Can you stand up for me? You act like you present. This is my guest right here.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the presentation. La, 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 la.
You saw that part? Why are you up in their face? Thank you, baby girl. Why are you up in their face? Focus on the what? Presenter. You are a wide receiver. You don't know when the presenter's going to throw you the what? Ball. I may ask a question. Bob may ask a question. Your leader may ask a question. Jackie Kim may ask a what? Question, and you won't throw up in their face. You didn't even hear it. Focus on the who? Presenter. That's the quarterback. You don't want to be looking at them because now you look concerned that they may not be interested. And they didn't think my corny joke that I said 1,400 times was funny. Does it make sense? Focus on the presenter, guys. Now here's the thing. When you are inside of that room, you want to understand to laugh. Y'all laugh. I love that. Laugh again. Just try not to laugh before I say the joke. Before your upline say the joke, they be like, that's scripted, right? Laugh after. But if you laugh, that's what your prospect's gonna do. If you're having fun, what's your prospect gonna do? Leave your job at the door. Pick it up on the way out. Does that make sense, guys? And if you take note, what would the rookie do? The rookie's trying to get a feel of the team. And if the team don't feel united, he can get that at work. If the team don't feel supported, he can get that at work. If the team look like she don't want to sit next to her, I ain't gonna deal with that. Not on my free time, I can get that at work. So you want to make sure that you set the stage because they're watching you by example. People are not going to do what you say do. They're going to do what you what? Do. Right? And you know how a 2-year-old will learn a bad word before he learn a good one? Guys, your team will do 100% of what you do wrong and 50% of what you do right. So you got to be right about darn near all the time. Right? So here's the thing, guys. If your presenter calls a play, who in here wants to go to Cancun? Go in here can use $1,000 bonus. Participate. Don't just spectate. One of my side chicks said, you cannot elevate to that you cannot celebrate. Got it? So here's the thing, family. As we start around third base, you want to raise your hand, you want to clap, but at the end of the presentation, what do? SWAT the. Yeah. So what do? Tell them what we do. Hold it up.
We basically break up and talk to the guests, ask them what they like most about the presentation, answer their questions kind of one-on-one as small groups.
Right. Then introduce them to the presenter. Say, you know what, Miss Brenda, you know what, she really, really loves, the travel, and she really, really loves, saving on that membership. She's not big on, anything else, but you want to save on the membership, right? Miss Brenda, tell them more about the membership. And then what? Bring it right here. Brenda don't need your help. Brenda's already a closer. She don't need you to help her close Tosh. Does that make sense? She's already a what? Closer. So when you introduce them to your mentor, bring it here until she's done. Take a picture of her with Brenda. Girl, this is gonna be revolutionary. Y'all say Surge. Text her the picture. Why? Because it's locked in her what? Memory. Let her leave with that picture, whether she signs up or not. And guys, listen, once you know what they want, stop talking. When do you see yourself getting started? Are we getting you started today? She says, well, okay, let's go. Does that make sense? Girl, you're going to love it. You know what? It's because when you get started, what's going to happen is, okay, you're going to get these emails from corporate and she's like, I think I'm going to think about it. We sell and then we retract the sell by what? Talking too much. Shh. She'll get it all in the membership. She'll get it all in the email. Yes or yes. So family, hush, learn to what? Shh. In this industry, less is more. That's exactly right. You got it? So once you got the sale, don't vomit on them. Make sure you got some computers ready to sign folks up. If they're not ready today, sign them up on a Vortex what? Link. Sign them up on the link. Don't let them leave with nothing. Does that make sense? We're going to sign you up today. Listen, I need you to at least do this, right? Because I got to have at least 10 of these a month. You love me, right? And let me tell you a trick for them folks that didn't show up. Don't call them and ask them, can they come again? You embarrassed me yesterday. I told my upline Vaughn you were going to be there, and I waited for you, and he asked about you. Now he's coming down again next Tuesday. You're not going to embarrass me then, right? I'm not asking her, can she come again? You embarrassed me. You told me yes. I told him I was going to have 15 people. 9 showed up because you didn't show up. Now it's at 7 o'clock. Are you clearing your calendar for me? Okay, all right. And bring some ice with you. Now here's an added bonus. If you ask them to bring something, they feel more obligated. I'm not going to ask her to bring some ice. I need you to bring the ice. Because if you bring no ice, we're going to be iceless. As far as you know. You just don't know I asked her to bring ice too, and he bringing ice. But everybody you invite, here's a tip to increase. Here's a tip to increase how many people show up. Ask them to bring something. Ask them to bring something, guys. Here's the thing. If somebody does say no, though, right? If somebody does say no, they got to go. Say no nasty. Oh, baby girl, come on. Let me tell you what. I tell you what. Listen, get your purse. Get your purse, baby. Get your purse. Yeah, get your purse. Listen, Natasha's gonna give you a call next week. Did you know? Let your notebook. Get your stuff. Get your stuff, baby. Yeah. No, she don't get dip. She don't get dip. She don't get no dip. No. Come on, baby. Get your stuff. Come on. All right. So what Tasha's gonna do? We're not even gonna do the link tonight. We're not even gonna do the link. Okay. What I want you to do is go on. All right. So she gonna call you here. Look, I love your dress, girl. I love your hair. But listen, go on. Come on, baby. All right, nice to see you. Depending on how nasty the nose she got to what? Go. Don't take her to your dip. Because one boiled apple. Oh, she gonna get in now. Right? She thought we needed her. All right, so speed it up with travel parties, guys. It's all math. So let's close out with this. If I sponsor you, she decided to get in. Stand up, baby. So if I sponsor you and do a travel party for you, and you have 9 people there, and 3 get in, stand up. 1, 2, 3. And then those 3 have a travel party, and 9 get in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get it, guys. All what? Math. Compress time frames with your travel parties. Give it up for Bob Nickelberry.
All right, didn't Janet do an awesome job? I ain't got nothing else to say. You guys have fun.
All right, champions. They didn't give us enough chairs. Can you believe that?